Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Captain Shaq here, and welcome back to good old Star Wars Galaxies. I can't believe I'm making a video of Star Wars Galaxies, a closed-down MMO from, 2003 is when this title came out, that I was on day one release, that night, actually, playing this after the patch took forever to download. I do remember the good old days back in my day. Anyway, Star Wars Galaxies is a classic MMORPG that was a true sandbox experience. One of the last sandbox experiences, not counting something like, say, EVE Online, where you could make almost any character you could think of. Now, today we're going to be talking about, well, if you want to play Galaxies, what are your options out there, and what can you do to mod it to make it just a little bit better? A little bit better. Because remember, it's from 2003, and you can see my character model, not fantastic, but it gets the point across. Fixed Cypher, Rebel Commando, officer in what used to be the 364th Dagger Wolves. I find that I just can't play Galaxies anymore. I tried my damnedest back when we started up the guild, but you know, there's a lot of people who haven't played it and maybe like this style of game. So we're going to jump in. I'm going to talk about what's great about the game, what's kind of weak about the game, and what kind of mods that I've got installed. So throughout this video, I will be editing in footage from yesterday when I was playing with Tabby. She's playing on vanilla Star Wars Galaxies with no mods, and I'm playing in the modded version. And the mods that I've got installed, while we let this load, and you guys will be able to see kind of how long the loads are with these mods installed. I have reworked textures that replaced a lot of the world textures, so a lot of the structures, a lot of the ground textures for sure have been increased in size. And then you've got your lighting mod that I've got installed, and there's also a map mod installed, and I believe those are the three mods that I decided to go with. So, this is with the graphics turned all the way up, and I say that in quotations because, my God, there's not a lot of options here in this game. Remember, 2003. A lot of the complaints that I have about the title that I'm going to talk about today are just because it's old. It's not because it was a bad game when it came out, though it did have a lot of issues. It's just because it's ancient. Let's turn off the UI. Where am I right now? Oh, I'm coming out of the Rebel base? No, I'm coming out of the cloning facility. I have no idea where I'm at. I died, and I spawned, I think, at a player city? Nope, I'm in Anchorhead. Fantastic. Cool. So, we are in Anchorhead, the Rebel Alliance city on Tatooine. I can show you guys on the map real quick if I turn my UI back on. You veterans out there are probably like, Shaq, what's going on with your game? It looks strange, like very strange. Something is very different here. Well, that's because of the lighting mods and the texture mods that you're seeing. I'll put some overlays of like some footage right now. That's what we'll do right now. We'll put in some footage of when I was walking around Tatooine and some other areas, and then the footage next to it will be footage of Tabby running around in the unmodded state. So, all right. So we're in Anchorhead. Take a little walk around. I'm playing on the what is this? The Bastila server. I'm playing on the Star Wars Galaxies Emulator official server. Star Wars Galaxies Emulator is the project that is bringing back the game. Now, this is the game pre-combat upgrade and NGE. Those two were an update that came out during the game's live era when it was on SOE, when Sony was running the servers and everything, and they ruined the game, basically. They pissed off the community. The community said, well, that was fun. Too bad you took away what made the game great, which was, let me bring the screen back to my character, which was the great, oops, that's not what we want, character creator, basically. I mean, you had, like, look at all the professions. Like, these are all professions. I can scroll down. There are a ton of them. Bioengineer, bounty hunter, gunslinger, sniper. You can do like a rifleman sniper build. You can do a medic, and you can mix and match these. Terrakasi, artist, where you were like a melee guy. You can do all kinds of cool, crazy stuff. You want to be a chef? You could be a chef, and that was like your full-time job. You just made stuff and sold it to players. So there's all kinds of things you could do, and that's what made the game great. But when they did the combat upgrade, they changed how the entire game played for combat. Some people actually liked it a little bit more, but it was only around for like a month, and then they went to the NGE, which is the new game enhancement. And basically, they actually said this in an interview. What was it? I think it was like the lead producer said, well, you know, people don't want to play, the uncle and the aunt. They don't want to be moisture farmers. They want to be Han Solo. They want to be the Jedi. They want to be whatever. So we're going to take all this creativity in making your class in depth, and we're going to shove it into, what was it, like 7 or 8 classes? Classes like, Bounty Hunter, Commando, Jedi. You could just make a Jedi. So they got rid of the entire Jedi system. That was really cool, actually, and all the wonder of there being Jedi in the world. Just people could just spawn in as a Jedi. In this era, too, this is right after the first Death Star is destroyed, so there should be, like, no Jedi running around. Or incredibly rare that there's a Jedi anywhere. So it was real sad. It was real sad. But anywho, the Star Wars Galaxies emulator is a group of people that have been working for years now, I think since 2009, to bring this game back to its pre-NGE, pre-CU, levels. They're trying to make it exactly like it was. That way, when it is done, they make it exactly how it was after publish... what was it, like publish 13, I want to say, which was Jump to Lightspeed. That was the update that they had done on the official servers. They'll be able to release that server code out, and the world will take it, and they'll make their own servers, and they'll start customizing those servers, and we'll have all kinds of different types of gameplay and whatnot. Wow, I'm really wounded. We're going to run out of town here and go for a little bit of a tour. You know what? No, let's go over to Anchorhead. Oh, no, I'm a flagged rebel, aren't I? So, anywho, we'll take a tour down here. Maybe we'll hunt some stuff, and I'll keep yapping about the game. Let's fight these guys. Koopas. Have my pistol equipped? I do. The combat, though, if you're looking to get into this, and you can download it if you have a copy of the game, or if you just find a copy of Old Star Wars Galaxies, you can get into this just by installing the game and then downloading the Star Wars Galaxies emulator. It's pretty simple. It's tap targeting. It's got some depth to it, but it's all statistical depth. There isn't any, like, action-y combat at all, really. It's just tab target to lock on, and then based on your stats and your buffs, and this is one of the biggest complaints that I have about the game, is that the combat is ancient. I hate tab targeting with a passion. I mean, I played the crap out of this, and I loved the combat when it came out. You can see I'm getting experience here for killing these random wild animals. But, I don't know, the combat is just ancient. It's not really the game's fault that it's so old. It's just a thing, and if you don't like tab targeting combat, you're probably going to hate this game. All right, so the mods that we have installed, let's go running through those real quick. We have a lighting mod that, it's a lighting injector. The link is in the description below. Pretty easy, drag and drop. The directions are actually on a forum post. I'll also put that in the description below. The texture mod, same deal. And then the other mod, it just ups the texture quality, so we can look down at the ground. And it's just a little bit better than the normal game, and you can kind of see that in all the walls and stuff. It does make a bit of a difference. If I hit V, though, and I open my map, here's a mod that I really do enjoy. This is the map mod. It replaces the map texture for an actual satellite image of the world, because the normal one, and I'll show a clip of it, you can tell it's crap. Like, it's so blurry, you can't tell where mountains are or anything like that. So you can download this one, and it'll give you satellite imagery of the actual world. And it's kind of weird that things are like these weird circles, and I can see why they blurred it out to make it look a little bit more natural instead of cut out, but there you go. Kind of cool. I mean, I dig it. I dig that mod. If you're interested in playing this, and some of the systems that drive me absolutely batty in this game is the buff system. You have to go get buffed, which really kills having sporadic group events. You got to find doctors that can sit there, and it takes about 2 minutes per person to get them all buffed up in all their stats. And if you're fighting against somebody who's buffed, or if you want to do content, most of the content in the game that's worth doing requires this buff that costs a whole bunch of money, that makes the doctors pretty much useful. But it also segregates the community into those who have the buffs and are prepared for what they're doing, and those are just jumping into play for a little while. It drives me crazy. One of the biggest problems we had when we were doing community events was the fact that I couldn't get people buffs because we had so many new players come into the game. I was like, what am I going to do with you guys? Well, I'm going to take all 30 of us, and we're going to go hunt Tuskens. What happened? One Tusken threw a grenade, killed the entire party, except for the 2 guys who had buffs. And that is so frustrating. So frustrating. I really hate the buff system in this. I know it's like old school Star Wars Galaxies players are gonna be like, oh, Shaq, that's part of the depth of the game. Well, yeah, but it's also killing some of the gameplay mechanics for me. Yeah, the combat is, like I said, it's kind of slow. It's actually, in PvP, it's not. And you can really get to know your class and know how to fight other classes, and there's some depth there. But there are better games for PvP, I honestly think. It's the sandbox elements that'll keep you coming back. It's the crafting mechanics that are absolutely amazing. I mean, every item has durability. Like, I'll open up my weapon here. Like, my pistol here has durability on it. It has certain fire rate and damage, and that is all based on the materials that were used in making it. God, the texture on this weapon is terrible. This is my FWG. It's one of the faster weapons in the game. But yeah, you get better based on the better items based on the crafter's skill. The chances of him just happen to making it better. So he may make a batch of pistols and say, okay, well, 1 out of these 10 are the best because he experimented with it. And then you've got the material that they use, which has to be mined and found all over the world, and that has random chance of spawning, and how good it is random. So really, then you get like the maker's mark. I love it. Object created by this guy, whatever his name is. I don't even want to know how to say that. But and you can see the condition of this weapon has gone down just a little bit because I died recently with it. But the more you use it, it'll go down. It'll have to be repaired. That means you'll have to go interact with players, or you can just buy a new one, which is kind of cool. So you always have that economy moving forward in this game, which I really do like. Nothing is permanent. Everything has to be replaced or worked on or repaired, and that's how you keep an economy going, which is pretty sweet, actually. I do really like that. I mean, I'm really looking forward. What spurred this video on was, one, the new movie just came out, and two, I just left Anchorhead, and two, the Black Desert's about to come out. It's a Sandbox Korean MMO that I've been really excited to try, and it's just about to come out. They just did their CBT, their closed beta test 1, and closed beta test 2 is about to start. Let's go shoot some stuff. So it's like, yes! And I'm looking at the combat, and then I was going back to playing Star Wars Galaxies the same day while like watching YouTube videos on this game, and I'm like, God, when am I going to get a Sandbox game that has good combat? How long has it been? How long has it been? I really enjoyed ArcAge's alpha, and then Tryon really wrecked it, really ruined the sandbox elements in that game with the market, and the combat in it ended up being not balanced at all and had a lot of issues and stun locking and oi. So I'm so frustrated with Galaxies, not for anything that it's done, but the fact that here we are 12 years later, and I still don't have a good sandbox game to play, and I'm going back to this that I played in high school, and I'm 30 now. It's like, what is going on in North America for MMOs? How long are we going to continue to copy World of Warcraft? I want, you know what, just sigh with me, buddy. Just, God damn it, I want a good sandbox game. I'm just saying, especially a Star Wars one. I'm playing Battlefront, and those graphics, and the lighting effects, and I'm just sitting there going, but there's zero depth in this game. Zero depth at all. Let's go for a ride while I rant. This is going to be a ranty video. Generating my vehicle. My vehicle's pretty damaged, so expect an explosion in a second. And we'll go out into the desert. But yeah, you can mod this up. There's a couple servers you can play on. This is the Star Wars Galaxies emulator server, the main one, like I said. And then there is quite a few other ones. The only other one that I've tested and played a little bit on was Bloodfin. It's much smaller community, and I think it's one of the larger ones outside of the emulator. The emulator has online at one time, the one that I'm on right now, about 1,800 people, and it spikes every once in a while, but it's a couple thousand people playing this, which is pretty legit, right? Wow, this bike is about to explode. It really has no health left. It's on fire. So if you want the bigger community and the more classic Star Wars experience, then I say go to the main server. Go to this server and play on here. They're updating it fairly regularly. It's very slow development, like I said. I think they started back in 2009, and then they decided to rewrite the entire code to make it better, and it's definitely getting more and more stable, but not everything is in. I know a lot of the creature commands aren't in right now. I was trying to command my rebel infantry. I'll actually show you guys, because these weren't in last time I played. Doop. You can get faction points for working for your faction, so whether it's the Empire or the Rebels, and then you can get cool stuff like... let's grab the Rebel Special Forces Trooper. Must be declared a Rebel to use this. Damn! Alright, well, we'll pull out R5, and we'll just make believe he's a Rebel Special Forces Trooper. Basically, I have to go back on active duty. When you die, you get taken off active duty, and you'll be able to use these guys. And they're Rebel soldiers, or if you're playing the Empire, you can get some Stormtroopers in there, and they'll help you in combat. And I was trying to give them orders, but not all the orders are actually in. So instead, R5! R5, there you are, buddy. Hey, man, you're my stand-in for a Rebel soldier. You're the mightiest of Rebel soldiers, aren't you? He's like, no, I'm really not. Don't send me into combat. I have 100 health and no armor. Don't send me in. I don't think he actually has any modules to make him useful in any way other than for companionship. Somebody to talk to. Wait, what? Did that really say he looks like instant death? What the shit? Oh, because my weapon's not equipped, right? Yeah, he turned blue. See this symbol right here, this blue symbol? That means his difficulty in combat compared to my skills and health. So, with my weapon unequipped, if I tried to melee him down, he will wreck my face, R5. You are a master combatant when I don't have a weapon equipped. And then I equip my weapon, I could one-shot him. I would never do that to you, though. Anywho. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, so you get these little rebel troopers, and I was trying to order them to take out an Imperial base, doing one of the missions. And the missions are so simplistic in this game, because, well, they were basically... R5, you gotta be stored. The missions in this, you take them from a terminal, then you run out and you kill a certain point. It's like a tiny little structure, or maybe it's a rat hole. I like this one right... Let's see if there's one around here. Well, anyways, there's these tiny little structures, like leaf structures, that you blow up that may have rats or whatever creatures inside them, that your mission is go kill 25 rat asses. Well, that was supposed to be a temporary thing. They were going to have a much cooler mission system. I remember them talking about it in an interview where they wanted to do some really neat stuff. This is all player buildings, by the way, player houses. Sadly, it never came to fruition, and this server is trying to replicate the exact space that the server was at when it was brought to the NGE, and they ruined it. So we don't have a cool mission system. We have a really shitty one. I'll actually show you guys. There's an Imperial bunker over here, or whatever I'm supposed to blow up, and it's really sad, actually. Like, the mission system is really sad. It's very grindy, and not in a fun way, especially if the combat bores you. Like, I'm kind of at that point where I played this for so many years that I can't get into it. So we'll run over here and see if I can show you guys one of the bases. Yep, there you go. So, that's basically all you find as an Imperial base when it comes to doing missions. You get these flags, or maybe a tiny little shield generator that's like the same size as this flag. You go, you take out all the troops surrounding it. I'm not on... Oh, I'm on leave right now, so I can't even attack them, so they won't attack me either. We can actually drive up there. Be like, what's up, man? Howdy, guys. I'm not a rebel. Ignore my rebel clothing. Indeed. Hello, sir. With your crazy ion rifle? Or frost rifle? I don't remember what those things are. Weird rifles that make strange sounds. It's still a cool game. I mean, it's the best MMO for Star Wars Galaxies. If you're looking for a sandbox experience, it's the only MMO that you're going to be able to play. Knights of the Republic. Potential hostiles leaving. Looks like. Calling it in. What? What? Don't look at me. Don't talk about me behind my back. Let's run away. Ah. There we go. So what was I saying? Star Wars Galaxies. Should you try it? Yeah, I mean, why not? It's worth a shot. It's a fun game. There's a lot of cool stuff. The housing system is great. The crafting system is unparalleled. Let's do a sprint here. The combat is tab targeting at its worst, because remember, this is predating World of Warcraft. And the item system is actually really cool. Customization of your character is astounding. Like, what you can do with your character. You want to be a medic rifleman, you can totally do that. Or a medic pistolier, or a bounty hunter cook, or musician, which my character actually has a few of the musician skills as well. Can I go in this guy's house? I want to show some of the housing off. Nope, doesn't look like it. This is like coffee with the captain while playing Star Wars Galaxies today. And talking about the good old days. And there's a lot of stuff that's missing out of this that you really won't experience, that makes it so nostalgic for a lot of players. When the game came out originally, there was no vehicles. There was no... it had a lot of wonder to it still. Like, the mechanics weren't well known. So when we all first started playing, it was like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to build some armor. What does all these numbers mean? Especially because WoW wasn't a thing. So a lot of new players were coming into the MMO scene. And it was so much fun. Like, let me open the map real quick, and I'll show you guys an example. One of my first PvP battle in this game, I was in Anchorhead. I wanted to join the Rebel Alliance, right? I didn't know what that meant at the time. Nobody really did. It was like day 4 of the server being up. And the Empire was over at Bestine. So you have all the Imperial players that really want to be Empire that are on Tatooine. And because there's no vehicles, people really kind of invested themselves into their planets. They lived there. They set up their houses, and this was their planet, and traveling was something that they did because they wanted an adventure. But they always came back to their home, because traveling to your house, which our house was out in the, what is this, the Badlands or something? I don't remember exactly what this is called, but it's basically like the Dune Sea or something, I think is what it's called. And I put my house way in there. So I used to hunt in here, and I used to come in and sell my stuff at Anchorhead. Or these are player cities, by the way, so none of these cities were here because player cities weren't in the game yet. And it was a big journey going from Anchorhead to here without a vehicle. I mean, you would go through hostile creatures and just all kinds of stuff, and you wanted to make sure you were well equipped, and it was an adventure. you'd come across other adventurers, other hunters out there, and they may have their camps up. You can actually build camps in this and set them down. And you'd hang out in their camp and chat with them, and, hey, how's your day going? He's like, well, I've been hunting Banth out and the wherever, but watch out because there's this, what do they call the squills that are out there that will one-shot you if you're not careful. And it was a really cool community environment. But my first PvP match was the Imperials decided they were going to attack Anchorhead. And they were spotted outside Bastine by Rebel players. And Rebels made it back because they were like grouping up outside of town. And a Rebel scout, one of our people, made it back and said, the Empire is coming. And we all flagged ourselves for PvP by going active duty Rebels. And remember, this is like day 4. Nobody knows what the hell's going on. Somehow, somebody got a hold of an ATST from the Imperial side. They had enough faction points. That means they were grinding out faction points like crazy. And they attacked Anchorhead. And our city was under such siege, and the explosions were going on, and screens shaking, and, we take cover inside the cantina, and that ended up being our holdout point, where anything that would come through that door, we just blast the hell out of. It was a really, really fun, cool time. And sadly, that kind of events, those kind of situations, have... Well, they've not really, it's not really the same anymore because the system, the mechanics are all well known now. People are buffed up with doctor buffs, making them impossible to kill unless you have doctor buffs. So you get these buff fights going on, and everybody's an expert, so they all know that you have to wear composite armor, so now everybody's running around in the same type of armor when they PvP because it is the best, and I say that in quotations, armor, because that's how this game was toward the end of its lifespan, right before they did the NGE. There were a lot of things that they never fixed. So it's a very different environment if you come in and play, and I'm sad to say it, but it is true. I'm just like hanging out outside this guy's house. You could show up at any moment. Be like, what the hell are you doing out here? I don't know. Maybe I'm really negative because I'm frustrated with the fact that we don't have a good Sandbox title, and it drives me nuts. Drives me crazy. Let me go pull my vehicle bike out. For all the good systems in this, I do have hopes for the future, though. When this is finished, I think a lot more servers may crop up. I think there'll be a lot more tools in the way of modding the client. I've seen some not video footage, but some images of a heavily modded client that somebody has been working on that looks fantastic. It looks like a game from 5 years ago instead of 13 years ago. And that's a huge improvement. We've already seen with Bloodfin, that's another server that you can play on, people adding in new content. And we're adding in content that was in the NGE, stuff like new planets. Bloodfin has like Hoth in there. They've got the Sith homeworld, I believe, in there. I don't remember, like Daman Cross or something. I don't remember what it's called. And then they've got Kashyyyk in there, which was an expansion pack world. I don't know if theirs is a custom one or not, but they've got Hoth. They've got Rebel winter uniforms. They've got snowtrooper uniforms. They've got all the stuff that wasn't in the NGE, or wasn't in the pre-CU, pre-NGE original game. So they're already adding in custom content. They've got custom like paintings and posters and new dungeons and stuff. So that's already starting. And when the server is finally finished, when we have Jump to Lightspeed, which is the space-based expansion for this, where you can go out into space and dogfight, I will probably come back to it and find a server that hopefully has revamped the combat system. I'm really hoping. Whoa. Where am I right now? I don't even know. Oh, I'm at one of the points of interest, I think. This is an NPC city that is just here. Like, there's nothing on the map that tells you this is here. It's just here. It's a Spynet operative. It's actually a pretty cool house. I'm gonna go inside. Hello, Huff Darklighter Guard. You have missions? Oh, this guy's got, I was told, some gun runner rendezvous. What? So this is some type of quest. There's random weird quest things like this, where you can go and run some theme park missions and whatnot. Let's go inside, though. Let's see what this is. NPC house. But you can make your own houses decorated like this, too, which is pretty cool. Huff Darklighter. Hello. Sorry, but I don't know you, and I don't talk to people I don't know. Indeed. Indeed. Switch out my clothes for my gunman's duster, and I don't know what happened to my pants. I guess I could put on my armor pants. I picked up an E3 carbine off of one of the NPCs. This is actually Boba Fett's gun. Not his specific gun, but it's the same type of gun. What's down here? What do you keep in your basement? Are there Jawas? Do you keep Jawas in your basement? I'd keep Jawas in my basement. I think that makes me a bad person. This is actually a model of one of the guild halls that they used for this NPC city. The developers used. Interesting. I don't know. It looks like Korea is my only hope for a Sandbox MMORPG. Korea and not the United States. Because Christ, when are we gonna get one? I don't think we are. Not for a long time. Aye. Jump on my vehicle and ride. Oh yeah, that's the number lock. You can actually zoom in on your mini map. I did not know. Going to first person, especially with all the Oculus Rift coming out. Steam's got its new VR headset. You'd think those peripherals scream, bring us a good Sandbox game. And I'm hoping that maybe that'll inspire developers to make something really cool, to take a chance. Will it happen though? I don't know. We just finished watching. Me and Tabby just finished watching the MMO anime, Sword Art Online. And that just made me want... A lot of the systems in that are straight out of Ultima Online, my very first and favorite Sandbox game, like the one that got me into MMOs. I mean, I'm old school MMO player here. And that game, when they talked about the criminal system, well, UO did that. They, if you attack people, you can be a criminal. If you kill anybody, you turn red and you're a PKer. That system, a lot of the systems were from Ultima Online, and I'm just, oh man, I miss it. I miss the Sandbox games. And what is it? Watching all the videos, the YouTube videos for Black Desert just blows me away. Like that, it looks like a AAA game. It's got a lot of the Sandbox elements in it, and the combat is real-time action-based combat. I mean, you're checking all the boxes for me here. You can build ships and stuff. You can have you can like level up your horses. They have different skills. You can breed them. You can do trade runs. You can fight as a guild to take over territory that happens on events 3 times a week. Your guild system, everything's a little deeper. Your guild system is actually a contract system where the guild actually pays money to have members. And those members can do quests that are given out by the guild to make the guild money. It's like this really cool, all these classic systems. We're just drive around Tatooine. Oh, look at all the manufacturing places. Wow. Tabby just bought one of these. It's a farm. It's a floral farm, I'm pretty sure. Automated floral farm, yeah. For chefs, so they can get cereal. So corn and whatnot. It's just all these old classic systems in MMOs has more depth to it. And then there's the Sandbox elements where the game really comes into its own when you're doing all the side stuff, or when you're playing in PvP, or like the side stuff like hunting a whale out on the ocean in your sailing ship, or pirating people and getting into PvP and all this other jazz. So, and there's a lot of changes coming to the North American servers that that players have been playing. North American players have been playing on the Japanese, Korean servers, and are like, you got to change this stuff for the North American release, and the devs are doing it. What was it? Potion spamming is a big problem in the game, and they've already said, oh yeah, North American players hate it. So we're gonna give it a cooldown on your potions, so you can't just pound them, and you're gonna have to play. You have to be careful what you're doing, because you're gonna die, because you can't just spam potions anymore. Stuff like that. It's pretty legit. So I'll probably be covering that. If you guys want to see more on that, let me know. This has kind of become a rant video, but it's pretty chill Star Wars Galaxies day. I'm gonna cruise around here. Just don't know where I'm going. Maybe we should head in a certain direction. Let's head to Wayfair, and then from there, I can head over to Jabba's. I think I'll log out near Jabba's Palace, because why not? Now, this is a 4,000-meter journey. This would take me so long walking, but it was kind of part of the fun. This guy has not been paying his maintenance. Those things are going to be destroyed. So Black Desert firmly has my attention. If you guys know of any other Sandbox games that maybe I've missed, I'd love to know. Black Desert is scheduled for release at the beginning of 2016 in the first quarter, so any time between January, February, and March, it will probably come out. And they've got the CBT2 if you buy into their pre-order pack, and I'm a sucker for Sandbox games, so I've already bought into like the stupid expensive one. But they have, I think, a $50 one, because it's going to be a buy-to-play game in North America. Free to play everywhere else, buy to play for us for some reason. Which I kind of dig, because that means when you buy it, kind of like Guild Wars, You're going to have everything unlocked for you at the beginning. There's not going to be anything holding you back in character creation. In the free-to-play version, you had to nickel and dime you. You want that hairstyle? Well, you got to buy whatever. In this one, as I understand it, all the character creation stuff is just going to be open, and the only thing that you're going to be able to buy on the market is going to be cosmetic stuff. So outfits that are cosmetic only, dyes, new hairstyle, not new hairstyles, anything that just changes the look of your character. So, kind of cool. I dig that. Different skins for your pets, I think, stuff like that. But there's a lot of mechanics that I may do some videos on. I was burned pretty hard by Arcade. And I know a lot of you guys who joined me in Arcade were as well. I played it, and I was one of the biggest YouTubers hyping that game up because I was playing the alpha and having an absolute blast, and I was sharing the fun in those YouTube videos and doing guides on how to do stuff like build ships and all that. And then when it came out, they radically changed the game and made it a... They nickeled and dimed? They like $10 to $15 you to death in the marketplace if you wanted to play the game, basically, using their labor system. And they did some... Tryon really just screwed over and dicked over everybody who was looking forward to that title as a sandbox game. Made it super grindy, just took out all the stuff that was making it fantastic, and took out all the fun. So, also the combat wasn't balanced, which I later found out. It was very stun-heavy, which is frustrating. So... I know, you guys are probably like, oh god, another Korean MMO. Shaq, what are you doing? Don't do it, it's a trap. The labor system, and Black Desert has a labor system, but they've said they're not going to sell potions that refill your labor on the market, which is the real world money market. So, I don't know. I mean, they're trying to control the economy in some ways to keep it so it doesn't get flooded. I don't know what the details are. I haven't played it to know how that's going to work, but it seems like the community who's playing it now, who has played on the Japanese servers, the Korean servers, or the Russian servers, are pretty happy with the changes for the North American server and the EU server that's coming out as well. So, I don't know. I think they're customizing them for each region, which is really smart. I know North America's already got some more heavy... PvP influence. I guess I was a little surprised by it, but a lot of the YouTubers saying that the Korean population doesn't really enjoy PvP as much as North America. We want it. We're bloodthirsty. We want all that PvP. Myself, I'm not huge into PvP. I like it occasionally. I don't mind. I'm kind of like that White Knight player. I love to jump into a PvP battle where a red is attacking a blue and jump in there and try to defend them. Like, that's my kind of PvP. So I enjoy it from that aspect of the game. I don't run around killing noobs. I'm very noob-friendly in my games. I don't know, that's totally not cool, Shaq. You're such a Care Bear. But that's how I play. And that's why I like PvP, because it gives me the opportunity to do that. To jump in as, like, the paladin. Oh, God, those are squills. We're not going to go run into those guys. And jump in and get into those fights. And apparently, the negatives for getting into PvP and killing a player, a blue player, were so high if you die as a negative karma character. Because basically, if you kill a lot of people, or just a few people in the Korean version, you get turned red. Hey, there's Wayfarer, there's the city. And anybody can attack you. If you die, you can lose gems, you can drop items. It's not a full loot MMO. So it was like, well, okay, wow, like you're taking a huge hit. You'll lose skill points. I think you can lose an item, you can lose, your gems will break in some of your gear, which is how you upgrade stuff. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. Like, who's ever going to want to attack you and go red? Hardcore red players, and they get nothing for it. Like, there's no loot, right? They're not going to get anything for it. And apparently, the negatives are being pulled back. So if that's Wayfair, I believe... Where am I? I'm not even going to turn on the POI. Let's just see if I remember. I believe Jabba's Palace is this way. What are those? Minox. Minox around a power node. Take a look at the Minox. Real quick, one thing that I didn't mention that Bloodfin has, that this server doesn't, is they've activated a, Star Wars Galaxies Jump to Light Speed Light version, which I don't know what's all missing. I didn't really get a chance to try it because I think it's missing some major components, but you can fly around in the atmosphere of a planet. You can try that. And that's something that they released right before the servers were closed. They decided, you know what, we're going to show you what we were working on for whatever reason, I guess to tease you with the fact that your favorite MMO is dying, and we were doing this cool thing, which you could actually fly around in the atmosphere of a planet with your ship and then go up into space. They have that over on Bloodfin. No combat or anything like that, though. I don't even think you can fire your weapons. At least not on the ground. I might have been wrong about Jabba's Palace. I guess I should turn on the POI. I swore it was out here, though. Point of interests. Oh, it's to my left. Like, I'm... Okay, no, too far. This way. The render distance on this game was never fantastic, so I should probably be able to see the tower, Jabba's Palace, but I just can't. Because of the render range, it'll just pop up at some point. Nope, there it is. Should have been able to see that for miles, but what are you gonna do? I can't actually go up into Jabba's Palace because I haven't done the missions. If you do his missions, it'll open up the doors and you can go all the way up there. Boba Fett's up there, Jabba's up there, that whole scene, Jabba's Palace scene is up there. The Rancor Pit, you can actually go down some stairs and find your way to the Rancor Pit and see the Rancor inside it. You can't go in with it because, you know, it's a Rancor. Probably a poor life choice. Somebody else is already here. An Imperial swoop bike is already here. Let's store my vehicle. There's the big door. I kind of wish, I always wanted the little eyeball to come out and like check me out before it opened the door. From Return of the Jedi. But yeah, you can run in here. You can do missions for reload. I think you do missions for 2 of these guys down here. And then they'll open up to the next room, and then you do a few more missions, and then the next room, a few more missions, so eventually you're up on the roof, and then you can actually see Jabba. Take some missions for him. And you get something for it. I don't remember what the reward is, though. Go, take care of whatever's over here. I think you end up killing a lot of Tuskens. Sweet babies, that's a long one. Tusken Raider leader who's been harassing Jabba's friends. Find him and kill him. It's hardcore, man. That is hardcore. Let's go kill a Tusken Raider. Why not? I should have just left my bike out. This is gonna be a long, just ranty video, I guess. Why not? I haven't done one of these in a while. Come on, vehicle. So yeah, the game is free. The emulator's free. They've been working on it for years. It is in a playable state. There is a very substantial population playing it. What else should you guys know? I mean, they're in Publish 8 right now. Any of the hardcore old school Star Wars Galaxies players will remember. That was like, I want to say that was one of the big droid ones. Creature Handler now works. I know back when I did my first Star Wars Galaxies videos on the channel, Creature Handler wasn't a thing, and it was a sad surprise for us to find that out. Star Wars Galaxies emulator Red and White Ball will take place in 2 hours. 2 p.m. Eastern Time. White formal attire is strongly encouraged. For more information, please visit the event. Oh, there's an event going on right now. Okay. Where's that going on? More information, please visit the forum. So there's still events going on. I mean, yesterday I jumped on for a couple of hours and ended up fighting the Grinch and the Grinch's dog, and I don't remember what the Grinch's dog's name is. I'm gonna die during this mission, by the way, because I'm not buffed. I'm probably gonna get shot and killed, and I'm almost a Master Pistolier, which is pretty sad that I can't take on a Tusken group without being one-shotted, but let's see. What kind of health do you have? Yeah, he's got 3,000 health. I have, and I'm super wounded right now, 900 health. That gives you any type of example without buffs. I'm gonna get rocked, and I don't have any food or anything. I might have a little dodge pie. A master chef made this for me. It gives me 52% chance to dodge with my pistol. Yeah, that's right. That's dodge pie. That's what I call it. I keep it in the holster in my pocket. We're gonna eat some of that dodge pie. Yum, 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 yum. There's my one buff. I have anything else? I think I used everything else. But that's okay. You guys can see what the death system is like. So I'm not cloned, and I'm not insured. My stuff's all gonna take damage. That's fine. Oh, sweet babies! He shot me! I was not expecting him to see me from this range. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna lay down to increase the chance of them missing. You notice they hit me one time. Whoa! There's one shot. My red health has just dropped like a rock. I have completed the mission. Time to sneak away. Super sneaky. Run away. Run, 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 run. It is really cool that they do community events in here. Oh god, I'm bleeding. I should be able to fix that with first aid. The bleeding has decreased, but it didn't fix it. Damn. And I have really shitty stim packs on me. Because I are the suck at... you know what, let's just try to shoot these other guys. We're gonna sit here and rest. You take a look at them. Tusken Raiders. Kill these guys, they will drop their clothes. Sometimes they'll drop their rifle. But you can actually have the rifle made by a rifleman. Has one of the best sound effects in the game for a rifle because it's actually a slug thrower. But I don't think it does that much damage. Not actually that good. There are all kinds of different damage types, but sadly, because of the way the stats work, everybody wears composite, basically. This is this stuff. It's the most advanced armor. It's also the heaviest, so it takes a lot of encumbrance. It means it uses up a lot of your stats, your secondary stats, which are like your regen stats. The problem with this is everybody plays buff when they do anything of worth, right? So yes, it has a lot of encumbrance. Doesn't matter though because of the buffing system. And so now so here's how the buffing works. You're buffed by a doctor. It'll increase your health up to 1,000. So I have 900 health now. A buff from a doc can bring it up to like 4,000 health. It's some ridiculous number for all your stats. It'll last for hours or until you die. Then you can eat food. All right, so there's another big health buff and other whatever buffs that you need. Like I just ate my dodge pie buff, so it'll make me dodge a little bit better. Actually, a considerable amount better. Then, so you've got those mechanics giving you all this health. Then you put on that composite armor, right? Which is what most of the server will end up be wearing. This is why we need custom servers that change these mechanics, because I hate these mechanics. It really kills, well, the variety on the server, because there's a lot of other cool armors in here. Anywho, so then you put on this stuff, which is blocking like 50 to 80% damage. That's 80% resistance to kinetic on this suit, and you can get different customizations. The only weakness this has is for stun and lightsabers. I shit you not, which like everything has a lightsaber weakness. But the stun weakness, which people build suits specifically to give you some stun resistance. Then, so now you're blocking all that damage. You're buffed all to hell. And then the PvP fights are that. So if you're not buffed and you have all that, you're never going to be able to fight. And for me, I prefer skill to make a larger impact in my gameplay. I mean player skill over statistical skill. And that's where this game kind of fails me for what I'm looking for in an MMO. In a new-aged MMO. That, and I think tab targeting combat systems should be taken out behind the woodshed and put down. Because it's ancient. It's ancient and we're done. So I think that's one of the reasons why I'm so excited about Black Desert. Because if you watch any of the videos, it'll remind you more of like the weighty combat of something like, and I know a lot of people are going to get angry for this, Dark Souls, in the way that you feel like you're making an impact when you hit something, and the way your character actually moves with the swings. Not saying it is as good as Dark Souls, don't get me wrong, I'm just using that as a kind of a terrible example. Get into combat, let's fight for great justice and victory. Yes, rush me. I would rather you rush me than try to shoot me. You have a rifle, please don't kill me too quickly. He's decided to equip his Jaffa stick and get shot and die. Okay, now we can loot everything. Sweet, that actually didn't go too badly. It only took 2 good hits to any one of my pools, my health pools, and I would have gone down. The health pools are a little weird in game mechanics. Basically, you got mine, which is your blue bar, your stamina bar, which is your green bar, and then your actual health bar on the top. If you get hit in the head, you're going to take a mind hit. If you use certain special abilities, like if I'm using Body Shot 3 here, which is a pistol ability, it will use up, I believe that uses up action points, which is your green bar. Your stamina bar, or whatever you want to call it. Any one of those bars go to 0, though, and you get knocked out. These guys are dead. They're not knocked out. I was hoping for actual loot. Damn. I want a Tusken helmet. Which I don't think I got anything for. No, I didn't. Anyhow, so it's kind of cool that you have these 3 bars, and you kind of have to manage them, but the managing system never really became a thing in the game. You've got your pistolier. Your pistolier's got to focus down your red bar because I have body shot, which means you focus down the red bar. Okay, I'm going to focus down the red bar. Carbines will focus on the green bar. Riflemen can go for headshots and snipe shots, so they're going to focus on the blue bar. So you get this like, all right, most of the combat classes are focusing on a bar. That's a thing. And then how do you balance it? The abilities that you use don't actually use that many points, especially if you're buffed. You're not even going to notice your action points go down by using abilities. So, I don't know. There's a lot of mechanics in this game that did need to be reworked. The combat upgrade, I remembered that I kind of liked it. Not the NGE, the combat upgrade. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. I didn't play enough of it, though, because the NGE came out right afterwards. It was literally just I think like a month difference. It wasn't very long at all. Oh, this thing's so gonna blow up on me. So, I don't know. That's enough complaining about a classic MMORPG. It can piss off a lot of people. It is still has a special place in my heart as one of my favorites. My second favorite MMO. Ultima Online had to be my first. This one, and then Eve as a little bit of a distant third, I think. And the ArcAge Alpha is still on my top list because during that Alpha, I had more fun in that Alpha than I have had in an MMO in a long time. It's too bad it was wrecked. But I'm actually more excited about Black Desert now than I was for ArcAge. And I haven't played it yet, though, so we will see. We will see. I'll have early access to it. I'll be in CBT2. I spent the extra $100 to get the fancy pack, so I will be trying out the beta whenever that starts. Not confirmed yet. All right, guys. This has been a rambly video, but thank you guys for joining me. I hope I've made your coffee this morning more enjoyable, or this afternoon, or whenever you're watching this video. Thank you for joining me and hanging out in Star Wars Galaxies while we talk about Sandbox MMOs, because I can always rant and rave about these games. If you want to see more videos like this, just on occasion, in Star Wars Galaxies or whatever, where I'm talking about the classic Sandbox games, let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on the topics that we've discussed, which have been everything and all the things. And I will see you guys next time. Oh, I can't type. Gotta do the wave. Bye, guys.